Well, I'm delighted to welcome to the interview our three-time Open champion, Tiger Woods. Tiger, great to see you back here at the Open competing once again. How much are you looking forward to this test at Royal Troon?
I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't get a chance to play it last time I was here, and looking forward to the challenges. I know I've gone around here a couple times and lengthened quite a few holes. It's a lot longer golf course and a few added bunkers here and there, but overall it's one of those courses where you're going to get it on one of the nines. It's either going out, it's going to be downwind, or coming home, it's going to be into the wind, or vice versa. So half the holes are going to be playing really difficult, and the other ones are definitely gettable.
Okay, well, thank you. We'll take some questions from the floor. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start in the center here.
Hey, Tiger.
Yeah, man.
You spoke about how it's hard for you because you can't practice as much, and you have to pick your battles. What have you been able to do in the last month that leads you to believe that this week will be different than the ones so far this year?
I've been training a lot better. We've been busting it pretty hard in the gym, which has been good. Body's been feeling better to be able to do such things, and it translates. I'm able to hit the ball better. Can't quite stay out there during the practice sessions as long as I'd like, but I'm able to do some things that I haven't done all year, which is nice.
Okay, next question, Mark at the front.
Hey, Tiger. Could you take us through your decision not to do the Ryder Cup captaincy this go-round, and what your input to Keegan has been, and what kind of a captain do you think he'll be?
Well, the decision was very difficult for me to make. My time has been so loaded with the tour and everything we're trying to accomplish. I'm on so many different subcommittees that it just takes so much time in the day, and I'm always on calls. And I told Seth that I just didn't feel like I could do the job properly. I couldn't devote the time. I barely had enough time to do what I'm doing right now, and add in the TGL starts next year, as well as the Ryder Cup, and you add all that together. And then with our negotiations with the PIF, all that concurrently going on at exactly the same time, there's only so many hours in a day, and I just didn't feel like I would be doing the captaincy or the players and Team USA justice if I was the captain with everything that I have to do. And then with Keegan, I think Keegan's going to be a great leader. He's very passionate about what he does. He's very passionate about the event. I think that this is going to be probably a turnover year for us for the captaincies, whether it's the captain itself and his vice captains. I think this is the natural progression we've been looking forward to, and I think it's that year.
Okay, we'll take next question far left over here, please.
Hi, Tiger. Over there.
Yeah.
Always a lot of talk about your future in the game. Hypothetically, if someone ever did advise you to quit, what would you say to them in response, and how would you explain why you keep putting yourself through the pain to play?
Well, I'll play as long as I can play, and I feel like I can still win the event.
And has that belief wavered at all in the last 2 years that you can still win?
No.
Okay, next question, Craig at the back right here.
Tiger, just to almost follow up on that, you've given so much to this game, you've given so much to this championship, but there was comments, last week from Colin Montgomery who said, why is he here, he should retire, there's no point to this. Do you feel that's a bit hurtful and you've earned the right to make the decision when you decide?
Well, as a past champion, I'm exempt till I'm 60. Colin's not. He's not a past champion, so he's not exempt. So he doesn't get the opportunity to make that decision. I do.
That's, you've earned that. You've deserved it.
So when I get to be at his age, I can still make that decision. Well, he doesn't.
Next question here, number one. Yeah.
Hi, Tiger. I wonder if you could perhaps just talk to us a little bit about playing golf back in Scotland, some of your best memories of playing here, and perhaps something about playing golf in front of Scottish fans.
Well, I think that any time I get a chance to play, not just in Scotland, but just in the UK in general, it's different golf. Links golf is very different. The heaviness of the air is just different. The ball doesn't travel as far. and using the ground sometimes as an ally, sometimes as a deterrent. And these pots are not unlike any bunkers that we see at home. So these are they're penalty areas. So you go in them, you're probably going sideways or backwards or somewhere not very far. So it's imperative to stay out of them. There's a way of using the ground to your advantage and hitting shots and shaping it correctly. You look at some of the past champions, they've been artists in how they've been able to maneuver the golf ball and use the ground. This golf course allows you to do that, and there are a few forced carries in which we had to send it a little bit, but it's very fair. It's very, very open right now.
Next question on the right here, number 4.
Tiger, how do you feel about your short game and your putting? You've talked about the lack of reps, harming it. Where do you feel you're at right now?
Yeah, I'd like to tighten up my short game just a little bit. I hadn't seen anything this firm at home. Hot Florida, Bermuda grass is not quite like this. So I need to get some more reps chipping around this fescue and how fast that ball, how fast my blade's going through the ground. It's going through pretty quickly. So I got to get a little bit of work done today and tomorrow and be ready come Thursday.
We'll go Matt back left, number 2 there.
Tiger back here. Could you describe for us perhaps some of the holes that you said are kind of green light go holes and maybe a couple that you want to be more cautious on?
Well, the first couple holes are starting out. They're pretty simple, straightforward. 7 is one of those holes that I think you can go for it if you want to. You can drive it down there and you get the right wind. You can almost drive it on a green. Then coming home is no joke. I mean, you got some tough tee shots coming home. You got to hit some good shots. But overall, I think there are some gettable holes. Some of the par fives, the 2 par fives on the front. Depends what 16 is doing with the wind. You can get it was into the wind. It's a 3-shot hole no matter what. Or if wind lays down, yeah, you can get there in 2. You just got to be careful with the burn coming across the fairway. But other than that, you'll see a lot of the guys lay up to the same spots. There will be occasional areas where, with the right wind conditions, guys can be aggressive, especially some of the longer hitters. They can be aggressive. It does allow for that. But in general, if we get the winds what we're forecasted, I think that we're going to be playing for about the same areas.
Okay, microphone number 1, left here. Yeah.
Hi, Tiger. Just on the holes, can you? The postage stamp is one of the most iconic holes on the Open roster. Can you just give us your insight into playing it and the challenge that it presents? And
Yeah, it's just it's a simple. I hit 9-iron and a pitching wedge the last 2 times I played it. I've hit as much as a 7-iron, but it's a very simple hole. Just hit the ball on the green. That's it. Green good, miss green bad. Okay, it doesn't get any more simpler than that. And you don't need a 240-yard par 3 for it to be hard.
Bob at the front, right here.
Tiger, you've always embraced links golf almost from the beginning, it seems. Does it present your best opportunity going forward, whether it's this week or next year into the future, to win again or to be competitive just because of the style and maybe it doesn't require some things that are harder for you now?
Well, I think that the older you get, the less you can carry the golf ball. But over here, you can run the golf ball 100 yards if you get the right wind and the right trajectory. So it negates somewhat of the high launch conditions that most of the times you see on the tour nowadays that populate the world. Here it's a little bit different. You can play on the ground. You can burn it on the ground with a 1-iron, 2-iron, 3-wood, whatever, even drivers, and just flight it and get a bunch of run. And I think that's one of the reasons why you see older champions are up there on the board, is that they're not forced to have to carry the ball 320 yards anymore.
No, it's been 20 years, but since you were last here, but does this one rate highly for you?
Yeah,
among all the venues?
I've always loved playing here. I've only played here twice. I played here in '97 and 04. I loved them. I love them both. I got a chance to play with Tom Weiskopf in his last practice round. That was neat for him to take me back to his some of his holes and how he played them, and obviously give him some stick, and like he was giving me stick like we always do the entire time, and we had a great time playing. Just a wonderful practice round.
Okay, Louine at the front here on the right.
Tiger, when you're doing all this subcommittees and committees and everything, and the homework that goes with it, are you wishing you were out on the practice ground, or are you beginning to enjoy it?
No, I never would have foreseen myself doing this. No, it's a lot of work. It's enjoyable in the essence, in the sense that I'm able to help the tour and I'm able to help the next generation of players. You know, now we have the players that are coming up now. They have equity in the tour. That's never been done in any major sport in history. So it's a way of me giving back to the game in a different way than just playing. But yes, there are days in which I had a sandwich and I had a driver out and I was out hitting golf balls instead of sitting in a 3-hour subcommittee meeting. Sometimes some of these gentlemen that I work with, they're just incredible. The knowledge, the breadth of knowledge, and the endurance, the mental endurance that it takes to do this, and they do it every day. I can only understand it from golf. I used to do this every day, but these guys just never seem to get tired.
Okay, Phil, number 2 at the back.
Tiger, Rory revealed recently that Michael Jordan and Rafael Nadal were 2 of the people who reached out to him after what he went through at Pinehurst. I was just wondering if you'd spoken to him about that, or if you'd sort of offered any advice on how you get over such a tough loss.
I just sent him a nice text. That was it. I waited a week before I sent it. I just wanted to let it calm down, and I didn't want him. I know he was being besieged by a lot of different things going on. And just let it cool down for a week. Then I sent him a nice text, and that's it. And then I think he played last week, and now he's playing this week.
Are you able to share with us sort of roughly what you said to him?
No, just basically here. I'm as you know, I'm your friend, and I know this is a difficult moment. We've all been there as champions. We all lose. Unfortunately, it just happened, and the raw emotion of it. It's still there, and it's going to be there for, I'm sure, some time. And the faster he's able to get back on a horse and get back into contention like he did last week, the better it is for him.
Okay, in the center here.
Tiger, I know you just ran us through why you're battling not enough time to be a Ryder Cup captain. Would you embrace the idea of being a vice captain if Keegan would ask you?
He hasn't asked me.
Okay, microphone number 1, back left there.
Hi, Tiger. In regards to this week, it's obviously a lot different to what the guys play week in, week out. How have you adapted your setup within your bag? Have you changed any particular clubs, or have you added more weight or less weight to particular clubs?
Let's see. I monkeying around with the bounce on my 60. I got a couple of 60s. I'm kind of experimenting right now. One with a little bit less bounce for the chipping areas, but also I like the way my older 60 is going through the bunkers and getting out. It's not digging, so I got to make a call on that. I just bent my 3-iron yesterday 1 degree stronger, just to be able to hit it off the deck and get that thing down and fly it in running. And I added lead tape to my putter just because the greens are so slow.
Brian, the left here, number 3.
Yeah, Tiger, Keegan Bradley's only just been appointed, but there's already a lot of speculation about who might captain the United States in Ireland in 2027. Just given your relationship with JP and your friendship there, and if the US, the PGA of America were to ask you, what would be your feelings on being a captain?
Yeah, I mean, whether JP is, I know it's near and dear to his heart that he wants me there for the event, and I hope he is there. Obviously, the conditions that he's going through, and I hope he's there, and I hope he's healthy and happy. As I said, I'll put my hat in the ring again when I have more time, and I feel like I can devote myself to a Ryder Cup. As of right now, I got so many different things I'm juggling and trying to get right at the same time for all the players that are part of the PGA Tour. And it's one of those things where you just can't get it wrong.
Just given your experiences in Ireland over the years, what do you imagine that Ryder Cup might be like?
Well, we played there. We played at the K Club. Hopefully, it won't be as wet as it was there, and hopefully, my caddy doesn't drop a 9-iron in the water. So it was. We had a fun week as a team. Unfortunately, we lost, and I played the first match out against Darren after he just lost Heather, and so that was very emotional. Darren and I have been very close, and it was tough to lose that match, but I couldn't have been more happy and tearful myself for him, for what that match meant and what the Irish crowd meant to him, and the energy they brought to him during that difficult period.
You're going to the right-hand side, John, in the red there.
Tiger, in your role as a negotiator or being involved in the negotiations, can you tell us whether you think the light at the end of the tunnel is any nearer than it was?
Well, I can tell you we're making progress. I can't tell you more than that just because we're not going to negotiate on the outside. We've got to keep everything at a high level and private. But things are moving and things are changing. It's evolving each and every day. There's emails and chains and texts and things that we kind of ideas that we bounce back and forth from both sides. So there's a good interchange of ideas and thoughts of how the game could look like going forward. And it's just a matter of putting that all together legally. Obviously, we have the DOJ with oversight and looking into that as well, and making sure that we don't do anything improperly there as well, but also making sure that all the players benefit from this, and as well as everyone who's involved, they want to make money as well. They want to make that return. We're now into not just charitable endeavors, we're into a for-profit model, so we have to make returns.
And would you say you're happy with the way things are going?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're going to close with 3 questions we've got. We'll start with number 2 at the back, please.
Sorry, Tiger. Hi. Do you feel like with where your body's at right now, getting the lifetime exemption into the signature events, that you can kind of feel like you're in a position where you can play more this season or next season in those events?
Well, that was nice of them to do that, and I told them that if I was going to get that exemption, I wasn't going to take away the last player's spot. If it happened to be, let's hypothetically say it's 72 players in a field at each one of the signature events. And if I want to play, I'll be the 73rd player. There'll be an odd man and be a twosome out and whatever. I'm not going to take another person's spot, even though it's nice of them to do that and ask me to play more often and have that ability to play signature events. But these guys have earned their spots, and I'm not going to take that spot away. But if I can be included somehow, that'd be great. It is nice to be able to be included, but I'm not going to take anyone's spot.
Okay, and then number 1 in the middle here. Yeah.
Tiger. Rory said, I think the word he used was discomfort, was what he was feeling when he was standing over the putt on the 16th hole of the U.S. Open. Just wondering, as someone who's been in the lead late at a lot of tournaments, have you ever experienced that emotion?
Yeah, lots of times. There's a lot of times I felt discomfort. Yes, absolutely. Nervous, shaky, uncomfortable. Yeah, that's all of it. And it's part of it. That's why you love it. That's why we practice, to be able to put ourselves in that one uncomfortable situation and bury it.
How do you handle that?
Practice. Yeah, I work hard at it, and I've done it my entire life. I've worked hard to put myself there. And if you look at the highlights, I've missed plenty of putts. I've missed plenty of shots. It's like Jordan when they said, how many shots have you taken? You know, you see all the game-winner shots, but also he's missed a ton of game-winning shots too. But the thing is, you still take the game-winning shot, and I still want the last putt.
Okay, a final question. Doug on the right here.
Just wanted to follow real quickly. In a perfect world, how many signature events would you like to play next year?
You know, Doug, I don't know because I haven't looked at the schedule. I don't know how many there are going to be. I don't know what the cadence is going to be next year, anyways. So
You're in charge of
once I find out in a few months, you'll be the first to know.
I wanted to ask you too, Tiger. What do you consider the most crushing loss you've had in your career, and how long did it take you to process it?
Probably the hardest loss to get over was the Wei Yang loss, because I had the lead. I had never lost a major championship while leading. That was a first, and that took a little bit of time to get over that, because I had made some pretty stupid mistakes in the middle part of the round. I made a huge rally at the end, but it was too late. I made too many mistakes in the middle, and you can't afford to make the mistakes that I made and expect to win tournaments, and I know better than that.
Well, Tiger, thank you very much, and best of luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.